Hey, welcome to the video. This is every wrestling game I have ever played in my life. There are some really good ones here, and there's some actually pure arse ones. And I'm going to rank them tier list based, like every other YouTuber. But yeah, here we go. And there's a big list already of games that I've never played. Yeah, sorry, Kurt Angle. Now, the best of all the times, as Santino would say. That's pretty much the best wrestling game you can ever play. The second tier, near perfect. The third tier, sort of like good game, sort of near perfect, but just not enough. Obviously, who's better than Canyon? And pure Stinkface is the game you don't want to be in. And Seen Missing, referring to, I never played this freaking game, so it's already been taken care of. It's already in the category. Alright, so I didn't play Day of Reckoning or No Mercy, so come at me. Alright, I didn't own those consoles. I'm sure the games were, No Mercy especially, were great, but I didn't play it. So kicking off, we have SmackDown vs. Raw, which I loved this game as a kid. Would still recommend it. Had Breaking Benjamin, Firefly, best soundtrack. Really, it's still fun to this day. Here, gotta go with. I actually think this game is pure shit. 2K Battlegrounds. I did not have fun at all playing this. It is such a poor man copy of WWE All Stars. It's not even funny, but. Obviously, it is supposed to be a copy. What am I trying to say here? Just All Stars does it so much better that I wouldn't even recommend touching Battlegrounds. Like, go and play All Stars if you want to play a really arcadey game. And speaking of, like, is this even arcadey? Fire Pro Wrestling? This game is shit as well. Pure cheeks. The gameplay's bad. I played it for about 20 minutes and got a refund on Steam. Alright, and we got, in the not better than Canyon category, we have Backyard Wrestling, which, it's not horrible. I would rather play this than Fire Pro Wrestling. It's got a bit of fun gameplay design, and there's a lot of arcadey, a bit more fun arcadey, if that even makes sense. And the Backyard Wrestling too, it's sort of the same thing, but just not as good. And we're moving on to SmackDown vs. Raw 2009, which had a great road to WrestleMania, but it just, I never went back to it as much as the other wrestling games, and I felt pretty disappointed with no GM mode, but the road to WrestleMania is great. Moving on to, yeah, don't even bother playing that crap. Same with, it's sort of the same with Warzone and WWF Attitude, but ECW, and just a couple other WCW games that I can't even remember playing, but I know they were alright. I had a bit of time, bit of fun with them, I mean to say. And WWF Attitude, I had that on the PlayStation 1, and it wasn't too bad, but the Legends of Wrestling, they're not like the best games, but... And then you got like Backstage Assault, which was fucking shit. And Showdown, I remember getting that from Blockbuster at the video store and thinking it was like kind of fun. 2K22, it's a good game. 2K23 beats it though. Like the GM mode's better. Overall, presentation wise, I think it's a lot better. And WWF Raw is pure Lashley's ass. Okay, like, I don't want to go anywhere near that game. Legends of WrestleMania, what was the deal with the controls with that game? It wasn't that fun to me. Mayhem, pretty fun. I don't even really remember playing it, but I remember playing it as a kid and going back to it a bit, so that's all I'm going with here. In Raw 2... I wish I could say it was better. Like, I like the concept of it, and the main menu's cool. And I like the roster at the time. I love that roster, but it's a trash game. And this is a pretty underrated game, TNA Impact. I'm actually going to put it in the good game column. Bit controversial. I think it's pretty fun. Alright, moving on to... what do we got? Probably the best wrestling game of all time here. It's really fun. The season mode's really good. Like, people will go back to this, like, forever. As long as there's consoles, I guess. But it's so fun, and if you've never played it, go and fucking play the damn game, okay? Alright, we got SmackDown vs. Raw 2010, which is pretty underrated in my opinion. It brought out some really cool new game modes that you could play, and it had the really cool entrance at the Royal Rumble, which I don't know why no other game has this, but they really should have kept that feature. And then moving on to 2K15, which I'm actually going to put in the good game. I think the graphics were like fantastic going from 2K14. Graphically, it's phenomenal. Gameplay wise, I don't know, man. And they really cut it. They cut the hell out of it. So I'm actually going to put it not better than Canyon. The showcase mode was kind of cool though with it. And then going to 2K17, which is sort of the run-of-the-mill. I don't even really remember. I just like the background and like the one song that would play. But oh, here we go. 2007, SmackDown vs. Raw 2007. Phenomenal game. Okay, probably one of my absolute favorites of all time. It's so fun. The GM mode, the season mode, just the gameplay. Like, there's so much to do in that game. And it still holds up. And it's just having the intro of the Raw SmackDown, it's really cool. Alright, what am I doing here? Oh, another one. SmackDown vs. Raw 2006. This 2006 and 2007. Oh my god. Absolute freaking bangers, man. Both GM mode. Both have great season modes. Decent gameplay. Yeah, pretty good gameplay. Yeah, awesome games. And SmackDown vs. Raw 2011 was actually ahead of its time. And I don't know how none of the wrestling games have done anything like it to do with the weapons and the ladder matches. That was so much fun, but missed opportunity by 2K now. And we got the original SmackDown, which was sort of like, well, whatever. SmackDown vs. Raw 2008. I actually personally love the game. There is some shortcomings with it, but the GM mode's like pretty fun. Alright, SmackDown 2, Know Your Role, beats the original SmackDown. Pretty nostalgic on my end. And 2K16, which, ooh, I want to put it as a near perfect, and I do, because the showcase mode is pretty fun, and it was a hell of an improvement of 2K15, even though graphically it wasn't. And 2K20, oh my god, the less said about this game, the better. This game is shit. Okay, glitch fest. Yeah, just don't even want to talk about it. It's a freaking shit game, and they should be embarrassed. But they definitely did make up for it with 22 and 23, and 24 will be coming out soon. That should be pretty good, you'd think. Alright, so WWE 13 was really good. This is a really good game, but unfortunately, 2K14 comes out the year later, which is pretty much the same sort of game, but better. Like, it is a lot better. It has the new moves of where you can catapult an opponent, lift them up, RKO style, super kick, choke slam, the ball hammer. It was just really fun. Look, like, going back to it now, it isn't as good. Like, I think I would prefer to play... God, if I can fucking speak English, I'd prefer to play 2K23 than 2K14, but 2K14 at the time, fucking awesome game. 18, which is sort of the same as 17, bit of run-of-the-mill. Graphically, it looked better, and gameplay it's set up 2K19, pretty good. Going to WWE 12, though, it was pretty interesting, going from SVR 2011, still decent game, and we got Shut Your Mouth. No, you shut your fucking mouth, which had an incredible season mode, really detailed, sort of mirrored real life, which was really cool. And they had that draft mode at the start of the season mode, which was awesome. And what do we got here? We got Just Bring It, which had probably the coolest intro to any wrestling game ever. Looked nothing like that. And it had attention and caution playing all the time whenever you do anything in the menus. And finally, we got 2K19, which is pretty much a near perfect gaming experience as well. It had a lot of cool gameplay features. I think it's a lot better than 2K18. I remember playing it a lot more, and it was a hell of a lot better than 2K20 ended up being. Like, I don't know what the hell happened with 2K in that 1 year span, but Jesus Christ. So we saw a lot of games here. We saw the best of all the times, with the 4 best wrestling games of all time, in my opinion. We saw the near perfect video games, which these games are freaking amazing, but just not top tier. We saw the good games. We saw the not better than Canyon ones, which are pretty close to being near perfect, but just not there. And the stink face, they stink they stink for themselves, really, because they're just pure shit, and they deserve to be stink faced, to be honest. And we saw the never played column. Sorry I never played Day of Reckoning and No Mercy. Very sorry. Hopefully I didn't make anyone cry because I didn't include No Mercy. And this, I never played it. Okay, so hopefully there's a nice discussion in the comment section. And I'll let the steps see you out. See yous.